Today we're going to be installing some wheel flares on this RC4WD Drive Trailfinder II. You know, I had the wheel flares on a previous vehicle. Those guys right there. See? And I literally destroyed that other vehicle. So, but I managed to salvage some parts on there. So today that's what we're going to be doing. So yeah, stay tuned, folks. Now the first thing we need to do is get this body off. So we'll start by tracking this winch. Okay. Alrighty then. Let's bring it up there. It's probably fine. I really need to change the hook on that. I lost my original hook, so. But this hook is actually more practical. It's larger, so you can actually grab onto more things. So, disconnect the battery here, and let's get this body off, and I'll be right back. Alright. This is actually going to give me an opportunity to clean some stuff up too, so yeah, I did a lot of crud and everything the last time we were out. It's actually not too bad. A lot of crud up in there, you can see there. So yeah, I'll knock some of this crud out of here, and then we'll walk through the installation of these wheel flares. So how I'm going to clean this up: a Windex and some paper towel. Yay! All that on there. It's actually not that bad. Just so you know, this body was actually sprayed with automotive paint, actual Toyota colors. A little more modern Toyota color, but it's alright. It's tough paint, tough finish. It looks fantastic too. So yeah, and my light kit, my light setup here is just a standard RC4WD Drive light set. They don't flash or anything. I had that on another TF2, and as soon as it got wet, the actual control box was destroyed. Turns out, well, the lights are waterproof, but the actual control box was not. So as soon as it got wet, it just went into blinking mode, and that's all it did, was blink. Okay. So yeah, this crud off of here. And what's nice is just use a little car polish on there to get it show ready. But I enjoy running my vehicle, so scratches and stuff like that don't bother me. The last thing you want to do though is break your body. And these hard bodies, when they fall hard. They're not as forgiving as the Lexan. However, Lexan doesn't look like a hard body either. Those trade-offs. So yeah, so let's crud off of here. This is going to require a little bit bigger tool. There's some chunks in there. Let me just knock these off. I'll vacuum up before I start, but trust me, you won't be on camera for that. Nobody wants to listen to a vacuum. Especially not me. Yeah. Put this on. Yeti. And last time I did this, I think it took me about an hour and 45 minutes to do the whole car. drilling of the holes and tightening my nuts. And there's some things that I want to go through with these RC4WD drive Big Boss wheel flares too. Again, you know, figuring it out the hard way, you know. Okay, let me vacuum this up and I'll be right back. Alright, let's get the lay of the land here. Alright, so you have two rears. You see this one here has a cutout. That's actually for the gas the fill on the other side. We're going to work on this side first, well, just because I decided, okay? So, and then you have this rear wheel flare, which actually goes like so. Okay? And then you have the front, which actually fits like so. Okay? Now, you'll see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 holes. But we only have to drill 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because this hole here actually gets installed with that screw there. So we'll have to take the screw and this nut off of here and install this. And this is what we're going to start with first. So yeah, let's get to it. Get our 5.5 nut driver. It's off of here. And this makes a good guide for the rest of the holes, you know. That off of there like so. I've had these wheel flares sitting around for a long time. I've been meaning to put them on, and I figured I would spend my morning doing this with you guys. Why not? Alright, so there's your front one right here. The hole right there. So let's put this on. And through the hole, the wheel flare into the body. This one doesn't require a washer, but we will get into what these washers are used for. I mean, the washers don't come with the wheel flares. I must say they should have, but they don't. So, get out of there. I gotta start this by hand, I guess. Maybe I should use a little longer screw there. So anyway, getting back to, yeah, I think I should use a little longer screw, but we'll get to that. Okay? Alright. When you buy these wheel flares, they come with screws and nuts that are just a little bit bigger than that hole. So as you're installing them, they look fantastic until you get out in a real world situation. And if the wheel flare gets caught on something, it pulls it right through. It pulls the wheel flare right past the screw that it came with. No washers would come with this. None whatsoever. I found out the hard way. When I was out trailing, you know, I started noticing wheel flares hanging off. And I realized that the heads of the screws that they provided were actually smaller than the hole. And even if they weren't, they didn't provide washers, which actually is a nice footprint over the rubber. So I learned the hard way. So today, I brought a gun to a gunfight instead of the old knife. And I brought longer screws, and what they give you are 1.5 millimeter. Okay? Screws. I'm using 2 millimeter thicker thread and slightly longer. So I remember fighting because they were short. I think they gave me 10 millimeters, and today we're going to be using the 12 millimeter. So let me get these screws all set up in my drill, and then we'll get back to it. Alright, real quick, I got my parts laid out here. The washers, the screws, and the nuts. This is the screw that we're going to be using. This is the nut that we're going to be using. And 2mm flat washers. None of these are going to be water resistant, so. Also, seeing how we're not using a castle nut, aka nylon lock nut, we're going to have to use a little Loctite on those, because we don't want them falling apart. So, no big deal. Alright, first thing we're going to do is we're going to line this wheel flare up here. So you can see, lined up. And I'm going to start with this hole here, because if I start with this one, I think it's not going to give me any leeway to play if I have to come back to it. So here goes a nasty drill sound. Take her easy. I need to slow that down too. That's better. Alright. So, screw, nut, push through. We're going to be looking at something like that. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to get this front one installed and I'll come back to you guys. Alright. I got the front one installed. Let's have a look. Let's move on to the back. Let's give it a dry fit here. And yeah, that's the front for the opposite side. And there's the back. So yeah, let's get to it. Screw, driver, washer. This should show you the setup here. And as I drop it, check that real quick. I'll just so you know, I changed my drill bit. I was using a 3/16 bit. No, I'm sorry, an 1/8 inch bit drill bit, and I didn't like the results of the first hole, so I went down to a 16th bit. And I would rather have to screw these into the plastic than have them fall right through. This is much nicer. So yeah. So I think I'll give you one more hole drill there, and then I'll come back when this one is installed. How's that sound? Hold tight, folks. Alright, one side is done. So now we'll move on to this side. Let's have a look. Maybe you can see what you're going to be looking at here. Like so. Wheel flares on this side, and kind of make it over here now. So yeah. So yeah. When I come back to you, I'll have these installed, and then we'll get it fit back on the truck, see what it looks like. So yeah, the project's done. And then I took the opportunity when I had the body off to go ahead and oil all my bearings that I could actually visually see, and all my drive shafts and so on and so forth. It's actually an easy project, just a little time, but it really makes your truck look that much more beefy. And seeing how I'm running the dualies back here, I never manufactured anything to actually cover these wheels. And these protruding out from the sides like that really take up a lot of that, you know, the overhang that the wheels have from the body, so that's kind of nice. Also, looking at it dead on, it looks beefier. You know, I guess that's why they call them Big Boss flares. But again, buy the flares, make sure you buy a larger screw instead of the 1.5s they give you. Buy a 2mm, a longer one, some washers, because the ones that come with it will fail and they'll just pull right out. And again, I took the opportunity to oil everything because I don't get this body off much, and I don't have to because I ran my battery connector here. So when I get it connected, I usually connect it right above this bar here, and then I can just shove it up under there and it stays and you don't see it. But it's just easier. I mean, I'm not running a LiPo in this either. I mean, it's LiPo ready. I'm running a 4,000 milliamp nickel metal hydride, and it goes for hours and hours. So I don't have to worry about getting back in here. A couple things I still want to do to this thing is change this flimsy rear bumper and put a tow hitch on it, because I do plan on making a trailer. And also making inner fenders for here and here. I just don't like seeing inside there. You know, I really hate it. And maybe a floor pan, I don't know. So yeah. But yeah, I've been putting this off for a while just because, well, I have so much going on. You know, I run so many cars and I'm always working on RC cars. So, no cars to work on. So now I had a project that I actually wanted to get to. And so I did. Let's have another look. So yeah, she's ready for another movie. So yeah, we'll see. So guys, if you enjoyed it, glad maybe I did you some good, brought you some info you didn't have. And if you like it, thumbs up. Appreciate you watching.